in Lafayette, Louisiana, and good morning, Acadiana.
With your complete forecast, here's KATC meteorologist Daniel Phillips.
All right, everyone, let's run through the forecast here, and we'll start with a look at those temperatures sitting at about 76 degrees in Lafayette right now, 74 around through Opelousas, 78 in New Iberia, 76 for Abbeville, 76 down over towards Jennings as well. Fairly quiet so far this morning for most of Acadiana. Now, you have had a few areas, particularly closer to the coast out through Cameron Parish, have had quite a bit of weather already this morning. A lot of lightnings, big thunderstorms sitting just offshore so far this morning. And there's a little real isolated activity that's trying to get going. I think for the most part, the morning commute is going to be looking good. We had some scattered showers out there early. No longer the case, though. And even the ones that are starting to pop up right now are staying very, very isolated. And I think we stay quiet all the way through the remainder of the day today. It will be quiet for the evening commute as well. It'll be fairly hot outside, though, as it has been so far this time of year. And it is going to be on the sunnier side. Now, we are dry here over the next couple of days, which means you're not going to get a whole lot of relief from the rainfall. So it means the sprinkler systems are going to be set. Again, a reminder, try and keep those things set for the morning. Morning watering is always going to be the best. You want to avoid having it going through the hottest parts of the day. You're really just wasting water through that time period. You can give it a try in the evening, but again, I would always recommend getting the plants watered out there early so that they have enough water to make it through the heat of the day. Let's turn our attention out over towards the tropics. Quiet through the Gulf and the Caribbean right now, but that may not be the case for much longer. We've got two different waves worth watching, one sitting out in the Caribbean, one coming off the African coast right now. And over the next 5 days, you're looking at decent chances for some development. This is the kind of forecast that we knew was coming late August. We had been saying we would really start to turn the tropics on a little bit. Now, two different waves. One looks to go through the southern Caribbean, maybe an open wave out over towards the Yucatan. The other goes through the Caribbean and then we'll try and make a run up into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. But remember, this is a long way away. You're 5 days away from development. You are maybe 10 days to 2 weeks away from it getting through the Caribbean. A lot is going to change between now and then. But it is worth kind of starting to keep an eye on this stuff here, especially this time of year. Each and every year, once you get into late August, you start to see these things really forming. So this is the kind of thing, kind of check in once in the morning, check in the evening, see how things are going. And then as we get, closer and closer to any kind of impacts, then you start kind of tuning in a little bit more. Now, you can find a little write-up on this over at ktc.com right now. Well, of course, Rob will have more on this coming up at 5, and we'll be back in tomorrow morning with the latest. It's going to be a long forecast with both of these, so buckle up. 6:47 right now, it's 76 degrees.
Thanks, Daniel. This morning, students in Jeff Davis Parish will return to school. It's the first public school system in Acadiana that's returning to school since the schools closed during the pandemic.
And new this morning on GMA, questions that you sent in for Superintendent Kirk Crater ahead of the new school year are getting answered. We head out live to our Abby Breidenbach right now. She's in front of Jennings High School with more on that conversation. Good morning, Abby.
Good morning, Katie. Well, here at Jennings High School, you can see the parking lot is still pretty empty. The lights are all off in the building, but coming up pretty soon here, it's going to look very different as students are going to begin arriving for their first day of school. Now, of course, this year, the school year and the first day of school will look differently from usual. Teachers and support staff and students will all have to follow some new guidelines. There's normally excitement around the first day, but this year, school systems across the country are using guidelines to ensure that everyone on campus is safe. In Jeff Davis Parish, students in grades 3 and above will be required to wear a mask on campus. Superintendent Kirk Crater says this is to ensure that students and faculty are safe.
This is what the medical experts are telling us, and so we're going to follow that. We want to be a little bit flexible, though, however, in the mask itself. We're not asking our parents in Jeff Davis Parish to have a specific mask.
As schools across Acadiana open up, we're going to have interviews with each of the superintendents to share what you need to know to feel safe about sending your kids back. Live in Jennings, Abby Breidenbach. Good morning, Acadiana.
Thanks, Abby. Happening now, one organization in Acadiana is trying to help Lafayette seniors beat the summer heat. Acadian Hospice and Acadian Home Care have partnered with the Lafayette Council on Aging to provide fans to local seniors to help them keep cool this summer. Organizers say the need was there and they wanted to help out.
As we heard, there was a need in the community because the seniors did have a need for helping cooling their homes off. And at LHC, one of our biggest mottos is it's all about helping people. So we thought this was a great way for us to be involved in the community and help out the elderly.
Donations are being accepted through August 31st at the locations you see on your screen. For more information, you can visit our website, katc.com.
In this morning's Rebound, as kids across Acadiana get ready to head back to school, social anxiety may be on the rise. Now, because kids have been home for the past 5 months, most with limited contact with other children, being placed in a school environment can be scary. In tomorrow's Parenting Navigating the Journey Together, we look at this very issue, and one Acadiana mom shares her own fears, while a local pediatrician gives tips on how to help make the transition from home to school a little bit easier. That's tomorrow on GMA. Well, whether helping you find work, making ends meet, or helping you manage the stress, we have resources to help you through the pandemic at katc.com/rebound. And feel free to reach out to us if there's something you need help with. It's called The Rebound, and it's our long-term commitment to you. The time now is 6:51. After the break, we'll tell you what you need to know before you go, and Daniel will have another look at your forecast. Stay with us.
Ford, and I'm in Lafayette, Louisiana. Good morning, Acadiana.
Here's your weather on the 3s.
Temperature is sitting in the upper 70s across Acadiana right now. 78 in New Iberia, 76 down over towards Lafayette with the mid-70s in Ville Platte and Jennings, Pecan Island, Cameron. They're all coming in right around 77 degrees so far this morning. We had a little bit of shower activity out through portions of Acadiana. Mostly has been down over towards Grand Lake, southern Cameron Parish. That has now largely pushed its way offshore. There's some isolated activity back behind it, but for the most part, we are looking quiet now as we move forward through the remainder of the day today and really the remainder of the forecast as well. Things stay quiet up through the midweek and getting on into the end of the work week as well. Thursday, Friday, we kind of see a bounce back of those scattered showers towards the weekend, and you see the temperatures drop a little bit as we get a little more moisture in place. We're quite dry here over the next couple days, and then that pattern going to continue largely summer-like and pretty typical through the majority of next week as well, although I think next week we'll probably be watching the tropics quite closely. We talked about 2 of those waves just a little while ago. If you missed that, you can find discussion on that over at ktc.com. It's 95 degrees here for your high today. It's going to be a hot one out there. It's a real hot couple of days. Now, we've got some drier air that's trying to move in. The showers that we had earlier on, that was the result of a really weak front that was moving southwards. Doesn't do much for the temperatures, but it does dry things down a little bit. And that actually allows those lows tonight to get down to about 73, a little more comfortable as we get into early Tuesday morning. And then as we go through Tuesday, it's going to be hot. 97 is quite toasty, but the heat index is going to be kept in check. And a large part of the reason for that is going to be the humidity stays a little bit lower, particularly in the afternoon. We get down to the low 40% range, upper 30% range, which is quite dry here for this time of year. So while it's going to say 97 on the thermometer, the heat index will probably stay right around where we've been seeing it over the last couple of days or so. So not to say it's going to be cool or comfortable outside. It's going to stay plenty hot there for your Tuesday. But I think when you see 97 degrees, it doesn't necessarily mean you're talking a heat index that's up about 110 or so. And again, just because it's a little bit drier, but more moisture on the way for later on this week.